to the entertaining Talkin' Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. And in this video, we're going to talk about another name that has surfaced as a potential replacement for Pat Shurmur, as rumors are starting to circulate after the Giants have gotten off to an abysmal 2-9 start. Now, of course, Pat Shurmur certainly can remain on. And in this rumor, written by Albert Breer, who is an NFL insider, a very accredited NFL insider, works for Sports Illustrated. He's done some work for the NFL Network. He mentioned, of course, Jason Garrett, who's been mentioned previously. And a lot of people say that Jason Garrett was just throwing his name out there to try to stir up rumors to get the Cowboys to bring him back. But the other name he mentioned, which was very interesting to me, was Matt Rhule. Matt Rhule, of course, is a college coach for Baylor. He is a New York native. He also coached the Temple Owls, and before that, he was an assistant offensive line coach for the New York Giants in 2012 under Tom Coughlin. So he does have a history with the New York Giants organization. Rhule then went on to coach Temple and then took over for Baylor, who was struggling at the time. And he's been there for 3 years, and they have really turned it up under Rhule. They started off, I think, with like a 1-11 season his first year. This year, they're in playoff contention. I think they're like 10-1. So Rhule's done a great job, and he's one of the hotshot college coaches in the college ranks. And before we continue on the story, let's jump into some of the quotes that were written in the story. Here's the first one. If the New York Giants fire second-year head coach Pat Shurmur after the NFL 2019's regular season, third-year Baylor head coach Matt Rhule is reportedly one name to keep an eye on. Rhule and ninth-year Dallas Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett are the two most likely candidates for the Giants if Shurmur is terminated, according to Albert Breer of MMQB. Then there's the second quote. Another name to keep an eye on with the Giants will be Matt Rhule, Breer said. Baylor is 10-1 overall, 7-1 in the Big 12, as they play near the end of the 2019 season. Rhule's third year on the job with the conference championship and college football playoff aspirations. Rhule inherited the program in 2017 after a sexual assault scandal under former 8-year head coach Art Briles, led to a 1-year stint with former interim head coach Jim Grobe. After a 1-11 season in 2017, Rhule went 7-6 in 2018 with a Texas Bowl win and carried the momentum into 2019 as Baylor became a Big 12 contender and college football playoff hopeful. So Rhule has certainly turned that Baylor program around, and it is why he is one of the guys that are being talked about for a potential head coaching gig in the NFL if a job does in fact open up. Now, what he would bring to this team, he'd bring a younger head coach to the New York Giants, something that a lot of people have clamored for, right? He's only, I think he's 43, 44. He was born in 75, so I think he's 44. So he's still relatively young. He has a career record of 18-18 in college, but like I said, he inherited a very bad program, and just in 3 short years, he's got them in playoff contention in college football. So you see the reason why people may like him. He's a former football player. He played at Penn State as a linebacker, and I'm assuming he has a defensive mind. He was a linebackers coach coming up before getting the opportunity to be the offensive line coach for the New York Giants, and then eventually getting the head coaching job for the Temple Owls, and then before turning around that program now at Baylor. So he's certainly a name to keep an eye on, and according to Breer, right now, if the Giants do in fact move on from Pat Shurmur, he is one of the two most likely candidates. It does make sense. Whether or not I would like it, I'm not too sure, to be completely honest with you. Doesn't have a history in the NFL, does not seem to be the type of coach that the Giants would hire in the past. They've always seemed to go after guys with some NFL experience. But, like I said, he does have some ties to the organization, much like Tom Coughlin did, much like Jim Fossil did. So, maybe it would make sense. We'll have to wait and see if it plays out, if the Giants do, in fact, look outside the organization for a new head coach, and whether or not Matt Rhule would be the guy. But I want to get a video on it, as rumors have circulated that the Giants may have interest in Matt Rhule to be the head coach in 2020, if in fact they do move on from Pat Shurmur. As always, if you liked what you watch, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.